welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we're on week 6 of our handmade Christmas ideas, being sort of fairly frugal and using things that we've got around. And today I thought, or this week is week 6. And week 6 is all about gift card and money holders, treat holders, but more on the gift card sort of thing. And today I thought I would show you a very simple idea using any size envelope you've got. Doesn't matter whether it is a Stampin' Up envelope, whether it's a large one, whether it's a small one, whatever size you want, you can do this. You need to first of all get the envelope. Now I've done this side already on this one, but this is a 6 by 6, so it's a square 6 by 6 inch envelope, and all you're going to do is to fold it in half. So I've folded it in half along the creases, and I have glued down one side, and I've literally, all I've done is with a pair of scissors cut it up, taken a little tiny sliver off it so that it's not going to catch, although it does catch a little bit, doesn't matter, and just leave one side open. Okay, so that's that one. The second one is a standard, for me it is a 6 and 1, ooh, is it, yeah, 6 and 1, 2, 3, 6 and 3/8 by 4.5. So this is a standard envelope size that we have. Now this one is a different one because there's a lot of envelopes now you don't have to lick them, and they've got tear and tear on them. That's absolutely fine as well, and again I shall show you. So we're going to fold it in half on here, and then with our paper snips we are just going to cut up the center part. So let's cut up the center part, and I'm cutting just inside the score line, and then I'm cutting this bit inside the score line. Whoops, nearly cut it through on there, inside the score line on there. So you've got just sort of a little bit of a wedge piece out of it like that. Now you can, if you want to, which I think looks quite nice on these, is you can see this comes down at a slight corner. So if we turn round and take this in the same sort of angle, so I'm trying to get it roughly the same, and I'm just going to cut this down on here so it's roughly the same. So if you've got one that's got a bit of a rounded part or whatever, you can cut that down like that. Okay, then this piece, we're just going to take this, and this is a tear and tape one, off, and just put that side down. Okay, and then we need to measure, and you need to leave probably about 1/8 of an inch, no more, maybe even 1/16 of an inch around there. So I've done that already, and I've cut 2 pieces of designer series paper. This is an old one, so we're going to have one piece which is going to go down on here, and we're going to have the other piece which is going to go in on here, and then I'm going to have one piece to go in over the top on there. And I might actually, because I've just noticed I've got this, we're going to have to try and do a little bit of, it probably won't notice by the time I've done it. If I'd left that straight, you wouldn't see the inside of this envelope. It just happens to be blue patterned, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. So before we stick this down, we want to have something to keep it closed. So I'm going to take, I'm going to get my ribbon out and have a look and see what I've got. So I want some green ribbon, which I know I've got in different colours, and probably some red ribbon, or even, right, let me get my ribbon out to see sort of Christmassy sort of ribbon. Just getting bits out that I've got that might work. And again, I'm using all sorts that I've got, so you don't have to use, you know, current things. You can use whatever you want. So this is, we're doing the green one. So we want something sort of greeny. Now, I wonder if this, I really like this one. Oh, there's a piece of this already cut off. Will that go? It's just jade, but I think because we're doing different colours on there, it will. It's not going to shout. So what we need to do is we need to put some tape just along here so we can put our ribbon down first. So I'm just going to grab some tape, and I've still got some of my fast fuse. Doesn't matter what sort of runner tape it is. Take it roughly down halfway, says me. Let's hope I still got some in on this one. Probably. I don't use it very often. I only actually use it for ribbon. So take that sort of down the centre. You can see I'm not very straight, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to take this, and how long is it? I don't know, about 16 inches probably. Yeah, I'm leaving just a little bit on here because it's a bit frayed, but yeah, 16 inches will work perfectly. So all I'm going to do is to take that down on the centre like that, and I'm just doing it so that it adheres down onto the ribbon on here. And then I'm going to make sure that I've got some of it's in the right place, some of it isn't quite. Make sure that I have it tied down to about the right size. So yeah, 16 inches this was. And then I'm just going to take it on here, a little bit over, because this is frayed quite nicely. I quite like the way that's frayed on there. So I'm going to do exactly the same on here. Just take a little bit out and just have it so it's just a little frayed, which I think looks quite pretty. Okay, so now we can on here put our two pieces of designer series paper, and I think I'm going to need a third piece with this, but we'll see. We'll see. So this was cut at 4 and 3/8 by 3 inches. So, but as I say, measure your own because yours might be different. I'm just doing it on the envelope I've got. So it's very easy to measure them. You know, just measure it with a ruler. And then this can go in on the front. And you can see I've left just a little tiny weeny bit of a border. It means it's easier for lining it all up together. And that's what you want. So I'm just hoping I've got some more of this green. I think I probably have. So this is going to go in on here. And again, I'm just making sure that it's lined up like this. Glue it down nicely. And then when we fold it shut like that, we've got a little bit of a tie piece, which I think looks quite nice. So on the inside, we need to do another piece. And have I got another piece cut? I think I have of this one. Yes, so I've got another piece. And that's going to go straight down in the centre on here. So get the glue. And again, I've used some retired paper. It's a great way to use up the, you know, odd little remnants of what you've got. This year is very much about using what you've already got. Don't go spending a huge amount. Yes, you can buy on, you know, maybe 1 or 2 specific little things that you want, but you know, don't go spending a huge amount. Use what you've already got. Okay, so that's going to go in on that side. I want to do the envelope flap. So I've got another sort of scrap piece here. And I'm going to just glue the envelope on the outside, paying attention to the sides, because those are the bits that you need to make sure you've got stuck. And then I'm going to take this that it comes a little bit over and then just stick it on like that. And then I can just trim it round then. So just take that round. It's got a little bit of a curved corner. But you can see you can really use any envelope you've got. You don't have to use expensive envelopes. It's a great way of just using little bits of envelope that you've got that you don't necessarily want to use as an envelope. So the cheaper ones are really good to use. That's not quite straight down there, is that? I can still see some of that coming through like that. There we go. Okay, so now we've got a nice little top piece on here. I'm not putting anything on here because this allows us to write something of whatever you want in there. I could just put maybe a Merry Christmas or something inside, but or a to and a from. But I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to leave it as it is because it does allow you to write your message. But you then have all of this. You can put, you know, little Father Christmas sweets. You can put any form of candies and sweets that you want in there. You can put money in there. You can put a note card in there. You can put a gift card in there, I mean. And literally this one, I'm not sticking it shut. I'm leaving it like that because I haven't decided what I'm going to put on there. All we've got to do is to decorate the front. And I've already prepared this one. So I've taken from, and this is where I said using old and new. One of my favourites and one of the investments I bought this year was Kindest Gnomes. Absolutely love this. I love gnomes all year round. And you have a die set that goes with it. And in the dies, you have got these lovely dies that make your very own little three-dimensional little gnome like that. So you have this piece, which, and I've got another spare one on here. So you've got this piece which cuts out the beard. You've then got two of these which cuts out his little nose so you can make it as high as you want. You've then got a piece that cuts out his hat with the little stitching round, and you've got a piece that cuts out his feet as well. You've got bits that cut out toadstools and all sorts. So it's a lovely, lovely versatile set that I wanted because I knew I would use it all year round. And but great for Christmas. So I have taken a piece of, this is like an old glimmer paper. That's going to go in on the centre. And I always do my glimmer paper, cut it the non-glittered side. It saves on your blades and it cuts better if you cut it upside down, as it were. So you cut it through that way rather than cutting it through on the glitter side. Now I want the Merry Christmas to come down at the bottom, I think, on here, or I might have it to come at the top. No, I'm going to have it at the bottom. And in fact, I'm going to put that down first because I think I can get a little bit of the the gold, the green, isn't it, to come just up on there. So I'm just going to stick this on the bottom, little even border around there, like that. The Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year came from the gnomes, so it is literally just one stamp set we're using, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And then, so this is the glittered part that can go in. And again, we've got different greens going on. I think if you complement the greens and you have enough of them, it doesn't matter that they're slightly different. If you just have one that's different, it can look a bit odd. But I've got a different green here because this was a scrap. This is a different green, and this is a different green. So, and then I'm going to put him up with dimensionals. You can also see colouring this one in. I've just coloured, now these are the two because we're going to do the red one as well. You can see this one has just got his nose done. and the other one has got a little bit underneath. Depends if you want a bit of a face going on or if you want all beard. It's entirely up to you. And I really don't mind one way or the other. So this is going to go on here. I've got some dimensionals that I was given. So again, I normally use the Stampin' Up dimensionals, but if you've got things that aren't and you've got old ones, as I say, these were given to me. So again, I'm not wasting anything. I'm using everything that I've got. And I think that if I put enough of them on, I think that they will be fine. So let's take these off. Gives a little bit of height, which is nice. And then we're going to put him in, just in on the center like that. There we are. So that's one of our little gift card holders. And as I say, you've got a little bit that you can tie as a ribbon. Open it up. You've got something to put your message. You could put some stamping in there if you wanted to. I could put one of these little gnomes in the corner. Haven't really decided, but at the moment I'm leaving it plain because it's down to you. You could put something in on here. But I think sometimes you can over egg it. It looks really nice on the front. You're going to be putting money and stuff, or you're going to be putting, you know, candy or whatever in there. So it also allows, if you can see in here, you can get these little bags of Christmas sweets and things that can go in there, because when you close it, it doesn't need to be completely flat. So you've got a little bit of extra on there. So let's do the other one. The other one was our longer one. And on this one, you can see I've got a very long piece on here, but I think that that will work. So this is the 6x6 envelope, because we all have all sorts of different envelopes. And I just need to see what ribbon I'm going to use for this one. Let's do something quick. I'm going to be using this gold and bronze. So I might use this gold from last year because that's quite nice. It's a bit frayed, or it does fray, but I think it will be okay. So again, I'm going to use 16 inches of this, which I think is fine. So roughly 16 inches. Take that like that. And again, I'm using some glue in here, and it's just, I just happen to have some fast fuse left. So about halfway down. Good idea is to try and put it in on a center line, because I find that I'm not very good at doing straight lines. Whereas if you've got a little line thing to go, it's easier to do it that way. So let's put this ribbon in roughly half down on the center of that line. Now I've got that beautifully on there. So I can put, and this again, you don't have to do everything on both sides. So this, I'm just going to do the front on here and the front inside. I'm not going to do the back of this one. So again, you know, if you're short on a bit of paper and you've only got one 6x6, or you've only, you know, you haven't got quite enough, don't panic too much and just put it on the front. So again, this is going to come down like that, but you can see I've done that quite nicely. And then this piece is going to come in on the center. And again, as I say, you use whatever size envelopes you've got. If you wanted to use a massive one and put a big sort of, you know, treat or those sort of large chocolate snowmen or whatever in there, you can do, because it's literally just an envelope. So this is going to come in like this. It's going to go down in on the center. So that comes nicely. And we've got this one, which is on a bit of a flap. Now I do want to have something in on here. So I've got another little piece of same colour, so it's cherry cobbler. And I'm just going to put that in on top and cut that round, because this is quite a long flap on this. Again, it doesn't matter on the size of the flaps and things, because you're going to be able to just cover it with something So if you cover it, as you do, sometimes we cover the flaps of our envelopes to make them look pretty. So if we just do that, it means that we're not, I'm putting a little bit of extra glue at the bottom because bits that might flap over, I want to make sure that they're stuck on nicely. Okay, and I'm literally just going to put this in like that on there. Hold it up and cut it round. So I can get it exactly. Just realised I probably was off screen then. Getting quite carried away with my cutting off. So cut this right up here. Just has a little bit of a turn there. And this is one of the old-fashioned ones. I've had some of these envelopes a long time. Again, they were something that was given to me, and I very rarely use 6x6. So I thought, well, you know, we quite often have envelopes that we buy and we never use. So I thought, what a good idea to use it as something like this. Oh, and then I need to do this bit on here, don't I? So let's just make sure that I've got this bit, which is the top of the envelope. Make sure that's nice and straight. There we go. So that's used a little scrap, and you've then got this coming down on there. So that looks really pretty. You've got it opened up so that, again, you've got a nice bit of space in there for putting, you know, whatever. You can put money, you can put, yeah, all sorts of things, whatever you want in there. Okay, so we'll have this coming down to the front. Now, do I need to, just having a look to see whether that's catching. Can you see how that's just catching just a little bit on there? What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to, did we have some glue down in on here? Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll see. I might have to trim it just a little bit more when we get inside, but that's the piece on there. I've then got a piece of gold or bronze glimmer paper. Again, you can use whatever you've got. That's the thing about now, I did that one at the bottom, didn't I? Am I going to do this one at the bottom as well? I think so. I think I'm more of a bottom rather than the top. So this again has got Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, but this is in reds, so cherry cobbler hues. And put that in on the centre like that. Put Merry Christmas down at the bottom. I could put this up with dimensionals, but I'm not going to. I think the sentiment quite often looks better if it's just flat. So that can go in like that, about halfway through. And then this one, again, we're just going to put some dimensionals in over the top. And make sure they're all stuck down nicely. But particularly if you give quite a lot of money at Christmas time, it is a good idea to, you know, have something pretty to put the money in. So I'm very much one for making gift cards and things because, you know, on Christmas morning when I go and round, I alternate. One year I do Christmas Day with one of my boys and then Boxing Day with the other, and then the other way round, and it means that I do lots of things. I have 6 grandchildren, so, and they're getting older and older, so where they used to, you know, love having little toys and things, they're now more into, you know, money for clothes and you know, various other bits and pieces. So, you know, gift cards with some money in are always quite good. And as I say, you know, there's enough for you to be able to put some money or some coins in there or some chocolate or whatever you want in on that one, and again in this one as well. You know, you've got it's well, it's half of 6, so it's 3 inches. So again, you know, and this is slightly longer. So if you've got a treat that's, you know, a bar of chocolate and you want to make one bigger, just get an envelope that's big enough to put it in. And there you go. 2 little ideas, and with any size envelope. So hope you enjoyed it. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.